Welcome back to American Arms Channel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Drake. As you can tell from the title of the video, today we're taking a look at the Benelli M1014 once again. But we're doing something that everybody loves to see, a torture test. Now, what is my torture test going to entail? Well, we're going to prove that the gun runs with both light loads and heavy pheasant loads. We're going to dunk it in a very chilly, iced over pond. It is early February, and we've kind of got a false spring this weekend. So it's pleasant enough for a t-shirt, but that pond is going to be icy cold, sandy, and have plenty of muck to try and stop up the venerable Benelli M1014. We've also got plenty of Platte River sand laying around, and we've of course got plenty of prairie grass and dust and dirt. So what we are going to do is we're just going to rub this guy down, soak her down, cover her up, see what it takes to stop her, and then see how easy or how hard it is to get her back into action. Whether simply remedial action drill or rinsing off with water will make this gun run once again. We've seen this gun shoot pretty nicely. I have taken my red dot off and my sling. No need to get those dirty and nasty, and we know what an open-faced red dot does when it gets a bunch of stuff in it. It knows it is no longer a sight, right? So we're just running her bare bones for the most part. There are no internal upgrades to the components. You have an RMW 3-position action spring tube or recoil tube, and you have an ANS enhanced trigger housing. Other than that, I have not replaced any of the springs. I've not tuned anything in the action. It's just been shot and used and loved, and today, I suppose, abused. So, let's get right into it. All right, to start off, we're just going to run the gun and prove that it works, clean and lubricated. It is lubricated with Ben oil, so the oil that comes with the 2 loads we're going to be shooting predominantly today are, just to prove that the gun works, are 3 of the Federal Top Gun 1 ounce at 1180 foot per second, 2 3/4 inch load. Nice, soft, easy shooting load, but does work in this gun. And then our primary testing load today, to give it every chance we can, a full power load. This is Fiocchi Golden Pheasant. It is a 2 3/4, 1 3/8 ounce load at over 1400 feet per second. Its box rating is 1485, so this gun it's a bit less. But really what that means is we've got plenty of gas volume to make sure this action has every opportunity it can at success. So one thing to mention, I just said that there weren't any changes in the springing of the gun. All the internal components were the same. I failed to mention this is a Dave Metalworks full-length magazine tube. It has the Dave's Metalworks flat wire spring, and I have a Briley 12-gauge follower in that mag tube. So that is a change, but the gun runs flawlessly. The first hiccups I've ever had with it set up like this were with the Winchester ammo I had in the Regal Metalworks 3-position recoil tube review video. So just for context there. And without further ado, I'm going to stop gabbing. Let's fire these 6 rounds. First 3, again, going to be the Federal 1 ounce. Last 3 going to be the Fiocchi Golden Pheasant. Let's take a look. You can probably tell those Fiocchis, they've got some punch behind them. The gun obviously works. Let's get to torturing. All right, to start, we're going to dunk this guy in the pond, but first I got to top her up. So we're going to use these Fiocchi Golden Pheasants. They are an intense load, I will tell you that. And I've ran 25 rounds of this stuff through this gun before, just to see how it handle it. Doesn't damage the gun, has no problems, etc. So we're going to do that. We are going to turn our barrel mounted camera on. Very good. I am going to chamber around. So now we're going to be as safe as possible. Stock's collapsed. And we've got ice and guck and debris and putting my very expensive combat shotgun in the drink. But this is what it's made for, right? Over the beach test. Let's see. Wait for the bubbles to stop. Okay, so I'm just going to reach in. I'm going to pull the shotgun out, extend the stock, fire 2 rounds. Let's see what happens. pretty gross. Definitely works, and that threw a lot of water in my face. We're putting our glasses on next time around. All right. Make sure our GoPro's going. Can't really see this, but this thing is nasty. All right, and the drink again. This time though, I'm gonna scrub her around and see if we can get some of that pond muck mixing in. Pull some of it on top. This stuff is super cold. Woo! Hands are cold. Hands are cold. All right. That feels really gritty. Okay, got her out of battery. She won't go back into it. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, she's back in battery. Yeah, I racked it a couple times, but we're gonna fire one round just to make sure. Not going into battery. Now it is. Okay. Grit in the locking recess means she doesn't want to cycle. But she does now. So, we're going to give her a quick rinse, and we're going to resume testing. All right, guys, I've rinsed her off real quick. You can see she's a little dirty. That action is not as smooth as it was before it went in the water. There's a lot of debris and nastiness in that water. So, conclusion, an initial dunk, she's fine. Rub her around a little bit, she might hang up. But I also was dinking with the action instead of just running her straight, because I did want to break that hydro lock just in case there was one, because you don't want to touch a shotgun barrel off that's got a bore obstruction like water in it. A bore or a bore obstruction, period. So, really, we can just chalk that up as, if she stopped, you can kind of just rack her until she starts working again. So over the beach test, semi-successful. We're gonna do it one more time just to make sure. All right, guys, one more time here. Let's load this puppy up. Turn on our barrel cam. I don't know how much good footage we'll get, but we're giving it a try. Rack it. That was a little sluggish. Safety is on. Pointed in a safe direction. This is one of those, don't try it at home unless you're an idiot, or you're me, so an idiot. But here we go. Let's toss her in the icy portion of the drink right now. Wait for the bubbles to stop. Take a second. It's probably good enough. All right. Let it drain a little bit. Failure to feed. Two in a row. So, not a perfect pass, but she's still cycling. I think the next thing we do is throw some light 1 ounce loads in her and see if she'll run those while she's all nasty and wet. All right, folks, so I've done nothing to the gun. As you can see, she's just as wet and nasty and covered in pond grime as she was on the previous clip. I'm gonna bend down here We're going to run this continuous. Rip open this box. All right, so these are the light Federal 1 ounce loads. We're just going to take 3 here. And let's see if she runs them after that dunk. Let's say there's a 60-40 chance it won't run to it will run on these real light loads. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Know what's going to happen. No. So, too much grit. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to pull the trigger pack here. I can tell you what I feel is there is grit in the locking recess for the bolt on the barrel extension. Because this is working pretty well. So really, it's an extraction issue right now. Well, no holds bars. And I know there's going to be a lot of guys who say, oh yeah, Benelli M4 is a piece of shit. That's not a good gun. Okay, take your favorite gun and let's do the same test. Let's see if it comes out ahead. I'm genuinely serious. I mean, this is not a nice test for this gun because let's take 2 more full house loads. 2 of these Fiocchis. Let's see if it'll run these. It runs those fine. So a full house, full power 12 gauge load is going to cycle this when it's nasty. Why was it stopping? Failure to feed? I don't know. Too much junk in it. Maybe there was still water in the recoil tube that caused hydrolock and short cycling. Just enough grit to hold it open and not enough power to get back home. Lots of things can happen. These shotguns are intended, specifically the Benelli M4, to take a lot of use and abuse. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can shove a ham sandwich or half the sand in the Platte River into it and expect it to work. Am I making excuses for the gun because I own it? You could say that, but at the same time, I do trust my life to this gun because I know that with full power loads, when it gets dirty and it runs hot, etc., it's gonna keep chugging along and do its job. But if you shove it in pond muck and swirl it around with a lot of grit, it could lock it up. The nice thing to know though is that immediate remedial action put the gun back into service and it kept running. You're not going to be relying on 1 ounce low velocity loads to save your life. And if you are, you're in a pretty bad spot. So you're going to do what you need to do to get out of it. But that said, I'm going to not give this guy a rinse. And we're going to move on to kicking a little bit of sand on it and seeing if it will handle that. Okay, once again, we're going to run these Fiocchi loads here. And I'm just going to take 5. Actually, I'm going to take 3 because we've only got 7 left after these 3. And I just fed sand into the magazine tube. Oh well, torture test, right? So what we're going to do is I'm not going to bury this action because obviously we know what's going to happen. All right, it's going to fill up. It's not going to cycle. So I'm just going to kick some debris on it. And I think you guys can catch this. Hopefully the action camera will catch this. We're just going to dust this guy like it's been dragged or dropped in a little bit of a sandstorm. All right. Okay. We can see that's not very nice. That's probably enough. And I'm going to leave it right here. We're going to tilt the camera up with 1 take. I'm going to pick it up, give it 1 shake, and then we're going to see if it'll run all 3 rounds. All right, here we are. Turn it over, 1 good shake. Oh, this is nasty. Let's see. Oh, you have to charge it for it to work. It charged. Let's see. Failure to go in the battery and failure to feed. Failure to lock back. Failure to go in the battery and failure to feed. There's a lot of sand in there. We can see we're getting locked up. So we are officially locked. So she would have let you reload if you had run dry there, but you're locked up. So I guess the question is now, through this being dunked again, can we get this back into action? I'm gonna fill my handy dandy little wader pouch here with the rest of my 7 shells. We're gonna walk down the water, we're gonna rinse this baby out and see if we can get her back into action with just a simple dunk in the water. All right, we're back in the pond, and we're not gonna load it yet. We're just gonna dunk her, give her a rinse, see if she'll cycle, and we'll throw 2 rounds in her and see if she'll make it through those 2. So here we go. There we go. Let's take that stock off. So that recoil tube is emptied out. Put her back on. Shit. I just lost my charging handle, my bolt handle. We'll be right back. Well, I have been unsuccessful in trying to locate that Terran tactical bolt handle, which might be an indication that it's something that could come out under duress. I have noticed that it can spin out. It has a single locking detent recess, but it doesn't allow itself to turn. It's simply, if it turns, it can come straight out. So that might be a bad design, but I was able to get the bolt to lock open. That's very slow. It will not hurt the gun to cycle without the bolt handle, but if this thing doesn't cycle these 2 and doesn't lock back, she's dead in the water, figuratively speaking, no pun intended. So let's see what happens. No problem. Cycled them just fine, but that really sucks. My hands are freezing. And yeah, I think we're pretty much done with this torture test. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Get enough grit in your gun and she's not gonna cycle. Now, maybe we'll do this again later in the year when we have actual mud and not sand and pond muck, which is, well, this is a sandy pond, so, you know, it is what it is. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this content. This was just something fun to do. Because of you guys, I've lost like a $40 charging handle, or bolt handle, excuse me. So, if you would do me a favor, please click like. If you'd like to see more content like this, hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell to stay up to date on everything here at American Arms Channel. And as always, God bless. And keep your powder dry. We'll see you next time, folks. Oh, I gotta get a new charging handle.